students, hope you're well. Okay, so yesterday we looked at the primary sector as a business sector, and I'm just quickly going to revise a bit on the primary sector. So if you remember correctly, we said the primary sector is where we get our raw material or resources from to sell to other businesses or manufacturers to make final or semi-final products. So today we're going to look at the secondary sector. Now the secondary sector is responsible for taking the raw material or the natural resources and manufacturing it into final or semi-final products. Now this means this is not yet where the final user buys the product from, but more where other businesses or other manufacturers buy the products from and then later sell it in the tertiary sector to the final user. Okay, so examples of this is food, clothes, building and construction. Okay, for example, in the primary sector we have where we get the ground from to make the bricks, and then we sell it to the builder builds the house, and the tertiary sector then buys the house from an agent, or they build the house for themselves and their final product is then the house. Then the tertiary sector provides the public or the final user with a final product. Okay, so in the primary sector we are now, for example, going to use grain, what we make flour from. In the secondary sector we make the flour and the bread, and then in the tertiary sector we then sell the bread to the final user, which is me and you. We go to Checkers or Pick n Pay and we buy the product from them and we use it at home. Now an example of this is transport, medical service. It can be physical products, it can be bank, insurance policies. There's a very big variety of things that can happen in the tertiary sector that we sell. It's not only products, but it can be services as well. Now looking at the difference between the primary, secondary and tertiary. Now if you look on the board, I have given you some photos to explain to you what the primary sector, the secondary sector and the tertiary sector looks like. So here we are digging for the raw materials. Here we are manufacturing it into a final or semi-final product, and here we are selling it to the final user in the tertiary sector. Now the primary sector finds resources or takes natural resources and sells it to the secondary sector. The secondary sector then manufactures it to a semi-final or final product, and then the tertiary sector provides the service or product that is sold to the public. Slides, and then you guys can write it down for me as notes in your book, please. This is a summary. This doesn't mean this is the only work you have to study for the exam. You still need to go look at the work in your book and add to the summary that I have made. Please go to page 96 and then you can complete activity 2 for me. Before you can continue to the activity, is there any questions? Anyone that doesn't understand or that I need to elaborate on something? Okay, are we good? Thank you so much, students. So I'm going back to the slides, and then you can start writing down the notes from secondary sector.